You should notice that we have mentioned few moods in previous slides. So let's have a closer look at them and why they are so important. So the fume hood principle is to discharge chemical fume and vapor outside the building or absorb it through carbon filter. The purpose of a fume hood for chemical handling includes strong acids and bases not suitable for biohazard or for sterile application. So if you see on the principle, is to take the vapors and fumes outside the building or absorb them through carbon filter. Reason why there's two types of fume hoods, a ducted and a ductless fume hood. So ducted fume hoods, they do not have filters. They just pull the fumes away from the operator through outside the building. The ductless fume hoods are the ones that comes with carbon filters. So the typical inflow phase velocity as per ASHRAE 110. ASHRAE is the American standard certification standard. 0.4 to 0.60 meters per second. ESCO, for example, specifically supplies two main types of fume hoods, ductless and ducted, as I just mentioned. This refers to how the contaminated air is treated before it's exhausted out. Ductless fume hoods have a limited number of chemicals that can be used within them on the ductless fume hood. However, the ducted fume hood, as I was saying, that the ductless fume hoods have a limited number of chemicals that can be used within them, and the air is exhausted back into the larger work area, meaning that the air is filtered by catching all those fumes that can be harmful to the operator and then released in the lab as a clean air. Yet the ducted fume hood is capable of being used with more extensive list of chemicals. It will have a duct leading outside of the large work area where filtered air is exhausted. I mean, the air is not filtered. The fumes, the contaminated air is exhausted on the ducted fume hoods. So if you see on this illustration, the green arrows represent the room air or the air in the lab, and then the filtered air is represented by the red arrow. This is for the ductless fume hood, and then contaminated air towards filter is yellow arrow. So if you see the three colors applies only on the ductless fume hood. Room air goes in, and then yellow air is the fumes and vapors from the chemicals, and then it's filtered here by the filter and released to the environment by, as a filtered air or clean air. But if you see on the ducted fume hood, it's only green and yellow arrow. So the room air goes in, and then the contaminated air goes through the duct system, and the exhaust fan or the blower is placed normally outside of the building. There's normally a pipe, what we call duct, It's a canalization of a pipe that is connected on the fume hood and to the external fan, which release all this fume into the environment. So it's basically ducted fume hood is for the operator's protection. The ductless fume hood is for both operators and environment protection. Okay. Does anyone knows like the importance of no evaporation in the ductless fume hood? I think we have gone through that. Okay, so the ductless fume hoods rely on carbon filters, as I just showed on that illustration. They rely on carbon filter or other specialized filters to capture hazardous vapors. So that's the reason when we had to offer a fume hood, at least at ESCO, we always ask that there's a form that we call filter check, is filled out so that at least we know which correct filters have to go with the ductless fume hood. Because some chemicals are stronger than the others. If you just put a standard carbon filters and the chemical being handled in the fume hood is strong, it can burn the filters quickly, and the fumes and vapors can escape in the lab. So we have many different types of carbon filters as per user's application. So on ductless fume hood, as I've mentioned, is equipped with carbon filters and fan, plug and play, environment friendly, energy efficient, ergonomic, portable, as it comes with the stand and caster wheel, and they are also bench top in case the user doesn't need the stand. It can be placed on the bench top. No evaporation as the vapors are filtered, and limited number of chemicals allowed. These are the limitation of the ductless fume hood. Yet the ducted fume hood requires a makeup, air, and installation suitable for a variety of application and chemicals. So it's mostly almost all the chemicals can be used in a ducted fume hood. Of course, we have some fume hoods that are specialized for certain chemicals, but yes, ducted fume hood has always seen to be the better solution when it comes to fume hoods. Durable, ergonomic, the disadvantage is that is location dependent due to the ducting. You can't really move it easily, because now you will have to remove all the ducting installation to move it from one point to another. And also the other disadvantage is that is not doesn't protect the environment. So here we can see a basic design of a ducted fume hood. We have sash, airfoil, baffles at the back, and the work surface. Not mentioning the plugs and the water and gas uh, connection. Then the ductless fume hood, the fan is placed inside. So remember that the ducted fume hood doesn't come with the fan in the fume hood. The fan is normally installed with the ducted on the outside of the building. Ductless fume hood comes with the fan already placed inside. Filter, sash, worktop, then the control system, the auto purge slots, as there's some holes here at the back, and then support stand. This is a quick question, like curiosity, what type of filters the ductless fume would use? We have already covered that. They use carbon filters. Some pointers when using your fume hood. Let's look at some of those do's and don'ts. So probably we start with do's first. Always use your fume hood for applications, experiments, and procedures where chemicals are handled. A fume hood offers operator protection by preventing in, inhalation, inhaling the of toxic fumes. Also, in case of spillage, explosion, or fire, a fume hood can temporarily serve as shield and containment. Just make sure you have a well-designed and appropriate fume hood type for your application. Keep sash as low as possible when using fume hood, so don't open it too much. The lower the better. Reduce pedestrian traffic. Reduce pedestrian traffic in front of the hood. Minimize rapid movement in front of the hood. Always keep laboratory windows and doors closed. So this do's is important, because if you don't do it like this, then it can really affect the airflow of the unit, and vapors and fume might escape in the lab, contaminating the operators. Know and check your airflow for fume hoods. Air always goes into the hood, away from the operator, and upwards through the carbon filters or into the ducting for ducted fume hoods. As per ASHRAE 110 1995, that's the American standard. A properly working fume hood should have a phase velocity between 0.3 to 0.6 meters per second. For ducted fume hoods, ensure that the exhaust system has been turned on before starting working. Because remember, the exhaust system, which is the exhaust fan, has to be on so that the airflow also is on. The fumes are pulled away from the operator. Perform routine maintenance and certification to help your fume hood last longer and to ensure superior fume containment. Have it checked once a year. Proper maintenance procedures should include phase velocity and smoke visualization tests. It's a fume's job to remove the risk of chemical exposure by its uh, our responsibility to have it maintained. Okay, here are some don'ts. We should never use fume wood as storage cabinet. I think I've been saying this. And fume was is not a storage cabinet. Always keep fume wood clean and cleared. Clean spills immediately as they happen. So here is when you don't follow the safety rules. This happen: explosion or corrosion. It's important to follow the rules when using a fume wood.